Right guys, welcome back to a very special video, because today, yes, I'm picking up another car. Now this is no ordinary car, it's a classic Ford, it's rear wheel drive, and honestly I've actually wanted one of these cars since I was a kid. And honestly it's one of these cars that just holds a really special place in my heart, purely because my dad had one, and they're just super cool cars. I mean, it's probably one of the coolest classic Fords you can get. So about later on, when a mate coming to pick me up, then we'll go through, pick it up, and then later in the video we'll do a reveal and you'll see exactly what I bought. I mean, this car is just, as I said, I've always wanted one. It wasn't cheap, but it does need a little bit of work, but honestly you'll see all that in future videos. I mean, but yeah, it is very special guys. Honestly, I know you'll love it. I mean, this is one car, it's probably the most expensive car I've ever bought, and it's the oldest car I've ever bought. It is something else guys, I can't wait to show you. Honestly, it's amazing. Right, so obviously we've got the Corsa C20 lit here, we've got my old Vectra which is broken, and my Insignia. So later on today, well hopefully soon, someone is coming to pick up the Vectra just to get it out of the way to make way for my new car, because there's no room here. I mean, technically we've got 2 spaces here obviously, but I'm using the other one as well. So yeah, that car needs to go soon, so to make way for the new car. And the guys just arrived for the Vectra, so I'll see you guys in a second. Right guys, so the Vectra is gone, thank God. Right, so all I need to do now is wait for my mate to come pick me up, and then we're gonna go and get the new car. I'll see you guys when we get there. Oh man, right, we're on our way home in the new car, and I'm not sure if the background kind of gives it away as to what it is or not, but I will reveal it to you very soon. But oh my God, this car is so cool. I can't believe I'm actually owning one of these cars now. Oh man. Anyway, I'll back the camera when I'm back home, and yeah, go somewhere nice and do a reveal. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Right guys, believe it or not, it's actually a new day, so this is day 2 of me owning this car. So I thought I'd bring it to a kind of nice-ish location to reveal it to you guys. And honestly guys, I'm so happy with this car, and I hope you guys like it as well, because I'm actually hoping this car will bring out a lot of good content on the channel, because I mean, it's a very unique car. There's not much content on YouTube off this kind of car yet again. The only thing I will say about this car is it kind of holds a little special place in my heart, really, because there's a bit of a backstory to this car, and it's quite a long story, but it's a really kind of personal story. So yes, there is a personal kind of attachment to this car, not for me personally, but obviously the previous owner and the owner before him. I'll explain that maybe later in the video, and yeah, because you don't want to miss that. It's quite a sad but interesting story with this car. Enough of me waffling, without further ado, let me reveal to you the new car.
Ride or die, ride or die, ride or die, ride or die. Cody's brothers, my guys, know that we fly, know that they ride or die. I keep well on my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta ride or die.
Yes, it's a 1986 Ford Capri. Now, I mean, who doesn't like a Ford Capri? And as they say, it's one of these cars that you always promise yourself. Now, the thing the reason I wanted one of these cars is because when I was a kid, my dad actually had one of these, and since I seen it, I thought it was just one of those cars that I just always wanted to own. I just loved the kind of Mustang kind of style, kind of shape of it, with the fastback and the long bonnet. It's just got so much Mustang vibes about it. But they do say this kind of car was inspired by the Mustang. Obviously, the Mustang was out before this, obviously, but yeah, this one's in really good condition. I mean, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, because no old car is perfect. I mean, the bodywork is perfect, needs a bit of work on the interior and a bit of a tidy up in the engine bay, but apart from that, she's actually really clean. I absolutely love the Cibi fog lights, the wolf race wheels, which I think really set the car off. Yeah, condition wise it's perfect. The person I bought it off gave it a full respray about 5 years ago, and I think over that 5-year course it's actually, you know, lasted quite well. I mean, it's in really good condition. I mean, again, all the arches are spotless, there's no rot in them whatsoever, very solid. Coming into the back, it's got a Sportex exhaust system with a 4-branch manifold, obviously the Pinto engine on Weber carbs, twin chokes as well. Yeah, she's a really striking car to look at, very interesting to drive as well, I must say. Obviously, because I'm used to driving new cars, obviously the brakes in this are not very good, but I mean, they're not the worst in the world. But you know, what do you expect from an old car? You know, old cars like this are not going to perform as well as a new car. You need to bear that in mind. Right, now it's time for me to tell you the kind of tragic story behind this car. But with this story, it kind of is like a bit of personal attachment to this car. But anyway, let's jump in and I'll tell you what it is. Oh! Right, so the person I bought it off is a guy called Baz. Now, really sound guy. Now, the person who owned it before him was a guy called John. Now, the story behind it is, the person John, who obviously owned it before Baz, he bought this car when he was 19 years old, which is pretty incredible. And he owned it obviously for most of his life, right up until, I think, around about his 30s or 40s. I can't quite remember what I was told by Baz. And unfortunately, he was killed in a motorbike accident. And before then, obviously before he unfortunately passed away, he used this car most of the time. Now, this car was actually featured in a Retro Ford magazine, and the full story is actually on there. I'll put it in the description below. But basically, so the guy John, who owned this for most of his life, he used his car all the time, and then it got to the point where it needed actually a bit of work. So then it went into storage for 13 years, and that was obviously when he passed away, and obviously the work never got done. So, and that's when Baz, his best friend, bought this car, who I bought it off, and as he got it up to its standards and got all the work done in it, and you see it as it is now. So we're in the interior, and like, as I'm saying, the small little kind of niggles, as you'd expect of an old car. I mean, no old car's perfect, but like, you know, little bits of trim there which don't kind of like fit properly. Yeah, again, small things. The fuel gauge doesn't work, but I think that's a really easy kind of issue, the wiring in the sender unit. So yeah, again, we'll do that in the next video or something like that. Other small things like, you know, bits of trim not fitting properly, but I mean, as you'd expect, it's an old car, you can't really expect much more. But this car drives perfect, it's got a full year's MOT on it. Now, unfortunately, this car being a 1986, it's not quite at that age yet where it's MOT and tax exempt. But this will be in the next, what, I think 4 to 5 years, so that'll be brilliant. And also, like, in the back, it's a little TLC, and like at the back there, like obviously the headline's sagging a little bit, and there. So it's like, it's not major. I mean, I'll get that fixed. I mean, it's not really major. I mean, bear in mind, these kind of niggles with an old car, it gives it like, you know, character and things like that. So some of these little niggles don't really bother me. Apart from the fuel gauge. I need to get the fuel gauge working, definitely. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. And also the blower motor isn't working either. I mean, obviously the car's not on, but yeah, even the car's on, obviously the heater blower does not work. So I'm hoping it's just the motor that needs replaced. So yeah, again, in a separate video, I might remove that motor, test it manually off the car. If it doesn't work, then it's most likely that it's the motor that's blown. Now, this car does sound absolutely amazing. I'll put the camera behind the car, fire it up and let you hear it, because the Sportex manifold in this and the exhaust system sounds absolutely fantastic. I think there's a little blow in the exhaust. When I pulled up, I could have sworn I heard a little blowing noise. Yeah, again, not a major issue, but I could have sworn I heard a blowing noise. But regardless, I'll fire it up and let you hear it because it sounds so good. Also, I'm going to show into the bonnet as well. Now, under the engine bay does need a little bit of like kind of tidying up, because anyone that knows me personally knows I'm very fussy when it comes to engine bays. I like my engine bays like perfect. So this one has been kind of painted black a little bit with some kind of brush paint, which is obviously not to my taste. I mean, nothing against it, but it's not to my taste. So I like that the whole engine bay painted red again to match the car. So anyway, I'll pop the bonnet and let you see. Right, here she is, the Mark 1 Escort 2-litre Pinto engine, which I think it is. It's got the twin choke Weber card, which makes the car go quite well, I think. But right now, so off the bat, my plan is obviously to get all this obviously painted the same colour as the car. Maybe like the brake servo, get that resprayed and powder coated as well, so it looks nice and tidy. Again, this little kind of panel here for the shroud for the radiator, gonna get that painted as well. Get a nice new oil cap, just generally tidy it up really. Also, I want to replace the battery tray. I think a tiny bit of it's rotten. It's not structural, but it's just the battery tray. A little bit of it is. So I'm going to get a brand new battery tray and get that welded in properly. So that's something else I'm going to do as well. And let's get this engine bay absolutely immaculate and get it looking very presentable, because I mean, I want to do this car justice, and that's the way I want to do it really. I just love how it's so basic and things. I mean, this is why old cars are better than new cars. I mean, you've got so much room. There's no things you don't need. Like, it's just the basic necessities, and like everything is so accessible. Like the fuel pump's just down there and all that. It's just fantastic really. This is why I love old cars. Now, content you can expect from this car. Being an old car, bear in mind this is going to need work. All cars need work, even if they're new, old or classic, which this is. All cars need work. So I think in the next video I'm going to give the car a quick check over. I do know the things that are wrong with it, as I kind of briefly mentioned. Like, interior needs a bit of work, fuel gauge, blower motor, a little blown exhaust. These are all little things that's wrong with it. It did pass with no advisories, which is, because underneath it's pretty damn good, to be honest. The shell on this car is very good. This car has had a little bit of welding underneath, a tiny bit on the strut top, but apart from that, the rear end, everything else is perfect. So that's a big weight off my mind. So yeah, I reckon the next video, weather dependent, obviously because it's pretty cold and miserable at the moment, but we'll give this thing a wee health check. I mean, I know it's had an MOT, but obviously I'm very fussy. I like things to be like better than the way they should be. I mean, obviously no disrespect to anyone at all, but I'm very fussy and I'm really OCD. So I'm gonna give the car a check over underneath, just check things over. I would like to replace all the front suspension arms, truck rod ends, get all the alignment done. I mean, obviously a car this old is not going to drive perfect because it's old, but this car does drive quite well. I mean, for an old car. But yeah, I want to get it driving as good as it can be. Just so I know everything's will be fine. But the car's been great. I drove it all the way from Bucky to Inverness and it was perfect, no problems whatsoever. So yeah, I mean, these old Fords, they're very reliable. I mean, these things will never give you any hassle, to be fair. Right guys, so that is the new Ford Capri. Really happy with it. I've always wanted one of these. So I'm still trying to sell the Subaru, that needs to go. Then the Corsa Turbo, that's going into the garage because I don't use it at the moment. And this is going to be the main focus of the channel. Because I mean, why not really? I mean, look at it. Really in love with this car and I hope you guys like it as well. So I hope I covered everything in this video and I hope you guys like the car as well. So if you're new to this channel and you want to see more on the Ford Capri, then please smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new, because I've hopefully got plenty of content coming to this car, especially considering there's not much content of this kind of cars on YouTube. So I want to change that, as I've done with most of my cars on the channel. So yeah, hope you guys like this video. So if you did, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys in the next video.